All right, so we are going to make cupcakes for our Russian tip project. So this is the second part of Unit 3. It's another big project. The objective in this project is that you use the Russian tips. So you did a very basic notes on what Russian tips are. And then you will plan for this, obviously with watching this fabulous demo. But there are a bunch of different Russian tips. So this is just going to show you how to make the cupcakes. Now, the cupcakes that we are going to make, we use a box mix. Now, a lot of kids are like, we're not making it from scratch. We've made all this other stuff from scratch. No, and the reason why is because it's a little bit faster. So we are going to make a box mix of using cake mix, and we actually add pudding. So the pudding is going to add moisture, so we can freeze these cupcakes and use them later. This is the same recipe that you will be using when we make our themed buttercream cake and we make a fondant cake. The difference is instead of making cupcakes, you will be dividing them in between these mini pans, and then these will get frozen and you make cakes. So this is the same recipe. We're not going to show you this demo again, so just kind of make note of how to do it. It's very similar to a homemade cake, just with, with the pudding addition. So you can do this in a kitchen mixer, or you can do it in a bowl and mix it by hand. So that's what's nice about this, is it does take a little bit quicker. So you're going to make your cupcakes as a table. So you'll end up with 24, so 12 per pair. And to this, we are going to add our pudding. So you are going to do 1 pound and 8 ounces of cake mix, and it can be any kind of cake mix, and then any brand. And then I'm going to do 3.4 ounces of the pudding. So sometimes it comes like that in the pudding container, or we buy it in bulk and you have to weigh it. So your teacher will obviously talk to you about the differences, but this pudding is our secret weapon when we make a bunch of our cupcakes, because, and we do it in the dry form, it just adds a lot of flavor to this. Okay, so I'm gonna mix that together. Then I'm going to add in my eggs, and you need 3 eggs. Okay, just like so, and I already have that mise en place. So when we do box cake mix like this, and we're elevating it, you're not gonna mise en place. So you're gonna do this all in one day, and then we're gonna add in our oil. So this doesn't get milk because there is dry milk in the pudding mix, which is why we add this. And then the extra bit of flavoring. And then we're gonna add our vanilla. See how quick and easy this is? Elevated box mix bakery style. Delicious. Vanilla goes in at the end. And then notice I'm throwing everything away, and I'm gonna take my rubber scraper and I'm gonna mix this. Okay, and you're gonna mix it until it's nice and smooth, and I'll come back for portion. All right, so we are back. So I mixed all that together, and then I forgot to tell you, we're adding water, so we're not portioning yet. So just 2 cups of water, 2 liquid measuring cups of water, and then it was very thick. I'm like, what am I missing? So now we're gonna start mixing this together until you have a nice smooth batter, and then you are gonna portion. So I'll show you when I'm done portioning, but you're gonna use a yellow portion scoop, put equal amounts in each one, and then we'll put it in the oven, and I'll explain the rest of the project. All right, so here is, I portioned the batter. I just wanna make note to you guys that this is a very runny batter compared to a homemade cake, but it will thicken up just fine. So you're gonna bake this 350 degrees for about 10 to 15 minutes, and then we'll be back talking about Russian tips and Dino Frost. All right, so for the Russian tip project, again, you're gonna do a planning doc so you can think through all of your colors, think about your color schemes, etc. Now, what's really cool about, and you can do this, you may have already done this with the flower project, you might wanna have one color on the inside and another color on the outside, so I'm just gonna show you how to do that. So you can either do that by using a piping bag, okay, and putting the one color on the outside and then filling it in the center. That's one way. I think it's a little bit more difficult, or you can do it this way. So I am going to do the orange on the outside. So I'm going with like a summer theme here. And you're gonna use pre-made frosting for this. Again, because our objective is using the tips, not making homemade frosting. You've already learned all of that. And so I want the orange on the outside, so I'm going to take my orange, I'm spreading it around, okay, just like so. And this is gonna wrap around. Okay, and then I'm going to take my pink and I'm going to put it in the middle. Now, if you wanted where you had the pink on the outside and the orange in the middle, you obviously don't use as much. You can prep it any way you want. You're gonna be doing this with your partner. So you made the cupcakes as a table, but the frosting will be prepped with your partner, and you'll either have the opportunity to make a mini bouquet or a larger bouquet. Your teacher will go into more example. So now I'm gonna take this, kind of lift it up, and then pull the plastic back like this. So it's like going together, so you can kind of see how I'm doing that. It's a little warm in here. And then like this, goes over, and then you go like this, okay? Because then when I cut this, I'll have the pink in the middle and the orange on the outside. So I'll show you what that looks like for decorating. Once our cupcakes are done. And then I did put you always want a little green for your leaf. It makes it look finished. So I have just a little bit of green. And I'll show you how that's gonna look when we assemble. All right, so now I'm going to start decorating the cupcakes for the Russian tip project. So first off, we made our cupcakes and then you dyed all your frostings. This is the one where I put the orange on the outside and the pink on the inside. So now let's prep our piping bag. So I already put the green with the leaf tip, all right? And then what I'm going to do is, the Russian tips are way bigger than what you're used to. So I put it all the way down to the end. We do not use a coupler. And then you're gonna take your scissors and you're just gonna make like a little line halfway through. And then that will show you where to cut, just like so. Okay, and then you're gonna push this upward. Okay, so you're good to go. So a lot of times this is way too big, so let's just cut this down. Don't cut it too much, but cut it enough. You don't need this. It just gets in the way. So then we're gonna go down like this, and then now I'm going to prep my bag. So I'm just gonna cut this part off so you can kind of see the pink in the center already. And then you put this, you drop this like so, and then you just squeeze it out. See how nice and clean? Notice my hands are not dirty. All right. Then I saved some of my pink frosting just to put a little base on here. So you're just going to, just so it doesn't look like naked. All right, just like so. And then now we're gonna use our Russian tip. Okay, so your teacher will explain this more to you. You'll have the option to either do a mini bouquet with 3, or you can make a larger bouquet and then whatever with your partner. It just depends. We want to give you the option. If you're just gonna throw away the bouquet, just make one. If you want something to take home, then obviously make your own. Okay, so we have our 3 prepped now, and then any extra cupcakes you have, you'll be given a container, okay? So now you start squeezing a little of this. So you'll watch more videos with this, but when you do use these Russian tips, you press and pull up, okay? And if you don't like it, you can always take it away. Usually the kids love this project. You see, it's like a little tulip. You can play with the other ones. Pull up, okay? So I'm gonna, 5 usually looks good. So you press and pull up. So that one kind of fell, but that's okay. And then pull up, pull up, pull up. So if you just do like a little, you can make them it gives you a different illusion. This is why beauty is in the virtue of what you think. If you think it looks good, go with it. If you don't think it looks good, do it again. Now, leaf. This is gonna make it look finished. So right now, it looks cute, right? It's like, oh wow, look at those fun colors. This is gonna tie it all together. So then you go through and you just add your leaves, as many as you think, again, looks beautiful. Usually odd numbers look the best, okay? And I'm trying to go fast so that you can really get your creative brains going, okay? Now, let me also preface it that you are going to be putting this together in a bouquet. So each of these, like if this looks ugly, you're gonna be putting tissue paper around it. So it's gonna make it come together. All right, so you can see the vision. All right, thank you.